Hello everyone, it's Ashley from Flapping Gums. Now, I tweaked the audio levels and the lighting based on a few requests from the audience. Now, I think the lighting works well if you're watching the podcast, but some of the audio, especially during the intro and outro, or when we're presenting directly into the microphones, then it's a bit crackly and it's a bit noisy. On the other hand, the more conversational parts sound a little bit better. So I'm just going to say apologies for the audio issues this week, and hopefully it'll be much more improved next time around. But still enjoy.
I'm good with this. It's okay because I can talk from here or around here, and I like to move when it's very expressive sometimes.
Can you say anything in my teeth?
Oh, actually, next door on them fuckers. No. Don't worry, the gap in your teeth is so big, nothing sticks on it. You're alright. Yeah, they're clear.
Hello everyone and welcome to a fresh, exciting and soon to be legendary podcast, Flapping Gums, with me, Ashley Hawksworth.
And me, Carl.
Why don't I say my full name?
I don't know, but I like it. Welcome back. If you come back. If you haven't, welcome.
So I took the kids out yesterday. My kids.
Good. That's a good start. As long as it's not someone else's.
And went to the park. So I took them for tea and a play. So I went to the drive-thru, McDonald's.
Stranded at the drive-thru. Branded a fool. Do music on here now. Anyway.
Right, what's that from? Greece.
Greece. Well done.
I'm going to guess. I wouldn't have known if I didn't guess. So I took them to the park.
Mm.
And it just reminded me of that it was not just sat on a device. Not that my kids do much, but you're not sat just with hunched over
on your phone or
on a
laptop.
device.
iPad, that's the one.
Some sort of tablet of other descriptions are available. Yeah, just wanted to know. So that brought up a little conversation in my head of what we used to do as kids. For those of you who don't know, I am 41 years old.
Older, isn't it?
And you are?
Older than that.
45 this year.
45 in May, isn't that good?
This year.
Don't look at it.
At the time of recording, it's March, April, May.
2 months away. A big 4 or 5. Half my life gone.
You're not going to live till 90.
I'm going to try. Why not?
Because you're not.
I'm getting better as I get older.
At what?
She didn't stay with me when I was 20.
I've seen it. It's hilarious. We'll have to put a picture up at some point. We'll do that as a thing you want.
I don't know where you get that from. Have I got any?
Well, how old were you when you showed us the you opening them donuts or cakes or whatever, the muffins?
Oh, 20. Yeah, 20. Semi 20s, 22, 23. That would have been. Yeah. Where's that? How did I show you that? I can't remember now. I'll have to have a look through. It'll be there on Facebook somewhere. Yeah. From many moons ago.
So,
yeah,
45, 41, so of course no devices when we were kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, what did you used to do?
Oh, nothing. I was outside. Basically outside, playing. That's what we did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about what you did. I used to do that. I was never in the house.
I've lived a not a very sheltered life. I've moved around a lot, so I was my dad and then later stepdad was in the army, so we just moved around. I've spent a lot of time indoors though, like my own room, probably crying.
Was it a good episode of your own? Glad to listen to this one.
Probably crying about something or other. I was a very miserable kid.
Yeah, that explains a lot to why you're the way you are today, then, doesn't it? I can see that.
But I still went out and did things and explored.
Yeah, we were never ever in. I was out on my bike. You go see your mates. I used to play on building sites. Did you? Yeah, because they were building new homes where I lived, so we'd be on basically a pile of mud. That's all it was. You used to go past a building site, be a huge pile of dirt where they'd built, for the foundations, things like that that dug out. And we would ride our bikes up and down that, and over this big ridge.
Immense fun.
And then just roll up and down climb up it if you could. And just roll on in mud, basically. That's what we did as kids. Did you not do that?
No.
No building sites anywhere you lived?
I lived in an army barracks.
So loads to play with there.
tanks, guns,
yes, jumping around.
missiles.
That would be the best thing ever. Cause that's what we used to play on them hills. Armies. Never play armies with your mates.
What was your gun noise?
I can't do it. Probably can't do it now, but something like that where you make that noise. Yeah.
I did a lot at school, so playtime.
Right.
So we used to like jump in grass or like jump on a field and just like
stop,
wrestle,
run around,
play
jump around.
and army.
You were allowed
with a
to-
little twig.
You're allowed to put your hands on people then. You're not now. But that's, playing British Bulldog on the field.
Yeah,
I used to love that.
yeah, British
Because there was a
Bulldog
field
tag.
outside my house, little oval type field. Perfect.
Yeah.
And we used to play British Bulldog.
How many people were?
Oh, in our street on that, honestly, there's adults were joining. It was fantastic.
Was it?
It was everything on that. I used to love that when I lived there.
Yeah.
So, kids-wise, you're talking about at least 10 to 15 kids playing that game, and then the adults would play it as well sometimes.
In the summer.
And was it my dad or my stepdad? Wasn't my dad at the time, so my stepdad now used to live in the same street. My stepdad broke his ankle on the field because there was a hole in the field, like a divot, and he went straight in that, and he broke his ankle in that. That was hilarious. We had bonfires on that field, everything. It wasn't massive, but I remember once, speaking of like with bonfires, it was that big, this bonfire, that the people who had cars came out of the house, moved the cars out of the way because the heat from it was so bad. It was like going to smash the windows on the car or something like that. So fire brigade comes out, puts it all out, and spoils everyone's fun. But so you had to move it further up the field, so it wasn't right at the very edge next to people's houses. But line fires is always a good thing to do. That was we had a BMX track next to my house as well. I remember that.
Yeah.
So not far from mine, and I don't know. I think it's houses again now. Like everything is now. It's just been built over. There was this. Well, it was that yellow sand, but wasn't sand. What's that yellow stuff they put down for buildings?
Asbestos.
No, anyway, it's some kind of proper stuff that they made. This was a big ramps on it and everything. And we used to take our bikes on there, and I got my bike stolen off me at one point.
Oh.
Yeah.
By a bigger
boys came.
Bigger, stronger
And
boy.
they stole my bike off us, the bastards.
Oh.
I had BMX with the mag wheels on and everything. I loved it.
What's a mag wheel?
That's like the moulded plastic type wheels. They're called mag wheels. Yeah. Did you have a bike ever?
No.
No?
Not for years and years and years.
I used to love riding my bike. That was half of
Where did you live?
Half my life. I can't tell that.
Like, because I knew there was a
I can. Churton Grange, basically, is where I grew up. Rough little council estate, but it was alright. We all knew each other. The whole street. I could literally still probably go down that street now and tell you who lived in almost every single house, at least on one side of the street anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's where my friends lived, and we'd all go to the same school, obviously. White House Primary School, if anyone's interested, was down the road from there. And even that, just there next to the school, there's like a reservoir. Don't know if that's still there or not. We'd play in there. Not an open one, it was like a covered one, so a big grass kind of covered thing. But it was a water reservoir underneath that. And we always thought, if you jump, you might jump through and fall. That's why you were told you couldn't go on it. So that used to scare us. So that was something fun to do. Let's see if you can jump through this. Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. But yeah.
From what age were
So I
you?
had loads of fun.
Live there then?
From when I can remember, around about 6-7 years old, starting living there. Maybe a little bit older, until I was 12-13.
Oh, so about 6.
So I was just starting my teenage years in that house. Yeah. So but I remember loads from that. Just hopping over people's gardens, knocking on doors, running away. You know what I mean? Just play football on the street, either on the field, or I remember playing football just in the middle of the road, playing tennis in the middle of the road. You do all that. You can't do any of it now.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to be good at that. Probably couldn't.
We'll do that tomorrow.
I can't see a curb now to hit it because I'm blind, but not really blind. Everyone, just a
little joke.
Just a little joke for you. So we did loads like that. It was a very active street by the sound of it. It sounds an awesome place to live, doesn't it? And grow up. I miss that place now. Sad music playing.
Yeah. Do you think we're missing that in society?
Massively. I think we've come so far away from it. It's like it's unbelievable now. Because even my own kids kind of grew up with either on a computer. I can't remember how. I had a Commodore 64.
Yeah. Amiga.
Or Commodore 16 plus 4 it was. That's what mine was. Right. I didn't have the 64. That was a step up. And obviously it was different back then. Games weren't as good, they weren't as interactive. I can see why kids are on them more now, but I think it's a sad thing to look at. Every kid's got something in their hand all the time, and it's just like, wow, kick them back out onto the streets and get them to do something. Because I love that. I really, it's where I look back now, just talking about now, I'm thinking, wow, I had a pretty cool childhood. When I look at that, I think they miss out on a lot from that.
Yeah.
So it must be boring, really.
But it's because it's quite good. Obviously, your kids are older, aren't they? 20
and 19 now, 21 and 19. So, yeah.
So mine are 10 and 8.
Yeah.
Put a phone in the hand, put a tablet in the hand, they'll play, obviously, like that, and they're really good. They'll teach me, like, the manoeuvres on the...
Yeah.
Like, this is how to zoom in, or it was, like, one where they did, like...
I get a headache watching now, so it's like Fortnite with it, or something like
how fast how fast are you doing that game? Like,
yeah. I can't watch it.
Take all that off them, put them in a park or put them on a field, and it's still kind of like there in the sort of like,
do they know what to do with
DNA sort of thing? Where it's like you can just do anything you want.
Yeah,
a tree's not a tree anymore; it's something else.
Yeah, you can climb up and do something. Yeah,
I think it's still there somewhere in our mind or brain that's still just like, wow.
It's like. Is it Grown Ups, the film, where they take them on?
Yeah.
They do that. They take them to this country house thing, don't they? And he's dying for his kids to just throw a rock at a tree or something like that. And it is, I think that's where we're getting with them now, where it's like they don't know what to do, but you got to push them towards it a little bit.
You got to push them towards it a little bit, I think. But once they're in that like environment,
I'm sure there is still kids that play like that.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone's unfortunate enough to have a tablet in their hand all the time. There'll be some kids that are. But I was never in the house. Never ever in the house. And when I did go in, I was told to get back out. Basically, go out and play.
So I've done that a couple of times. So what I can remember, this was growing up so I was in Germany at this point, and we used to play like hide and seek, and if I was hiding or seeking, I'd just go in. I'd just go in a house. I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
Boring.
Yeah,
I used to love that. But hide and seek was brilliant.
So I do remember that, but on the other end of the scale, this is when I would have been younger, and would do that. So would just like play on the bike, just play football, tennis, just any. And I don't think we even owned the toys or the balls.
No,
pick one up from somewhere and then just start hoofing it around.
Or the game was over when whoever's ball it was went. I'm going home now. That was it. That's how that happened.
Street lights came on, you came in, or you got shouted.
And even then, I was still allowed. I remember sitting outside, on the
doing nothing on
the gate posts. Because the big stone ones where I was, like the council estate, so we still have that.
Yeah.
Would just be sitting there, just talking. Absolute shit.
About what though? If you
just about 12. What are you going to do with your life? You know what I mean? Or what do you do if you were doing this, a footballer? If you were, things that sometimes we talk about now. What do you do if you had loads of money and I still do the same thing. Disappear. Travel the world and disappear. But that was, I think, some of the best times of your life is that when you're a kid doing that. And those poor little children that only have, a tablet or an iPad to live on.
Yeah, well, not.
They're missing out on loads.
I got told to go out and collect nature. Yeah. Probably when I was like under my mum's feet, whinging about something.
Yeah.
Go out and collect nature, and then come back about 5 hours later with a little acorn.
Did you ever catch a butterfly in a jar?
No. I longed to do something.
We used to look on hedge because everyone's got a hedge.
Yeah.
For caterpillars. Yeah. Collect them and see how many you can get, and then kill them all. It was horrible, obviously. I know that, but that's what you do.
Yeah.
I used to love that. It was the best times of my life. Can I go back there?
Yeah. What? So them? Well, it is. What's it called? So when you're about 7 or 8, your formative years. So it was in that.
Yeah. I don't know anyone from that street now.
No. Yeah.
Obviously, because that was a long time ago. Half of them are dead, I think. To be honest, I know one of them actually is. One died. Yeah. Sad because it depends which way you go in life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He went the wrong way, and that was a few years ago. He died. Just bring a sad tone to the whole show.
About that, everyone. So from the age of being born until 6, what were you doing? Where were you?
I don't know.
No.
Do you have a memory before then? I don't think you do. Do you? How much?
I can't before 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, dear. I can't remember.
I think I can remember when I was about 2.
Really?
Yeah. So I had a little, and it's very vivid. Very vivid.
Yeah, one of them.
thing. I was sat on a stool. The legs were bright blue, and the top was like a wood top.
Right.
Like it's wood because it's got the wood grain and stuff like that. And I was eating a plate of beans, and there was a knock on the door, and that's all I remember from that. But I think, talking back, I think it was about 2,
Right.
and there's no pictures of that, so it's just like
honestly, I can't. I think one of my earliest memories was only because of photographs and things, though. So it kind of stirs little bits in when you see it and go, "Oh yeah, I
or it
remember
could
this."
be
Misconstrued as somewhere else, but. Haggerson Castle used to be a place we would go for holidays as kids, and there was a big, I don't even know if it was metal or what it was made of, but a big tube. Basically, you would walk on the inside of it, so it would never go round. Do you know what I mean? And I remember quite vividly again being in there, but I still don't think I was too young. I must have been about 5 still, and I remember riding a horse. I actually remember being on the horse, and they're the only.
Horse or pony?
2 bits, one of the 2, probably a pony. Yeah, to be fair. It wasn't by myself.
Was it like
just riding around the place?
This metal tube, because you're walking like a hamster wheel, don't you?
Yeah, that's what it is, a human hamster wheel type thing. But it was a big long one, and so you can have like 6 or 7 kids in it, and it was
healthy
just that. It's like how that you're probably not allowed now. Yeah, you couldn't have it. But I missed that. That was great because they don't have that there now. You only go back to places and go, it's like this because of this.
And then it's nothing.
And you go, it's nothing. No, it's shite now. Don't go to Haggerson Castle.
The castle.
Other holiday parks are available, I'm sure. And I'm sure they're just as good.
So, but my memory is very broken up because moved around.
You've lived so many places, it's harder to put them together, isn't it?
Born in Germany. Moved from there to Derby, so I think I was in Derby at 2 when I had that memory.
No wonder your mind went blank after that.
And then from there to Essex, lived in Essex for a bit, and then from Essex I started school in Essex.
Right.
I hold then 5.
Yeah,
and from
4 or 5, yeah.
Essex to Cyprus back to Essex.
Right.
Essex to Winchester or something like that. Winchester to somewhere further like Poole or Dorset. I know I lived in Dorset.
Right, okay.
And I know the thing. Bovington. So all them places. And in Dorset, I'm still in like first school. Because it's Bovington First School that I was at.
Right, okay. So even the early years of your life, you moved around quite a bit.
Moved around. Then from there to Germany. And then from Germany to Tynemouth. Then from Tynemouth to Cramlington.
So where you, and then now you're here next to me.
And there we are.
And you're about to move again.
Yeah. So that's why I don't want to, just stay.
Sick of moving.
Yeah, sick of moving. But, it's just very, my younger, I've got 3 brothers and 2 sisters, but in actual fact they are one, in inverted commas for those listening, real brother, one step-brother and one half-brother, and then one step-sister and one half-sister, but they're just brothers and sisters. But the youngest, he's 11 years younger than me, so he was born when I was 11. And I know and then I just go back to that. So if you go, what was I doing at 6? I'll go, right, well, it was 11 when I did that.
So are you telling us what he used to do at 6? No, what he used to do.
So here's a funny one. So with me being 11 years older, and very shy and introverted as a kid anyway, and as a teen, and as an adult, he would obviously grow up his own sort of life.
Yeah.
So Faye, my partner, she'll say, listen to some music, like club music or whatever. I remember this at the club. What were you doing? I was probably chasing him around with playing Cowboys and Indians
in the house by myself.
No, well, I'd try and play with my younger brother,
Yeah.
but he would be out with his friends.
So he had a better social life than you. Should have got him on here to talk about what he used to do for fun, shouldn't I?
Well, I do remember loads, but it would have been when I was like getting older.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But even that, as teenagers, what do they do now? There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. It used to be youth clubs.
I was going to say, can you remember youth clubs?
Yeah, I used to love
going
go
to a couple.
As much as I hated school, I would go. I'd love the youth club,
Yeah.
but then you had to be good in school, otherwise you weren't
So
allowed to
you-
go. And I was like, so I was in a right dilemma because I was a horrible kid at school, which
Yeah.
we'll get into in a later episode, I'm sure.
Perhaps.
So I won't go into that now. But yeah, going to the youth clubs, they were brilliant because they used to put out all the PE stuff that you'd like. So we had the swinging ropes and stuff.
Oh, really?
There was a separate hall you play football and stuff in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had all the kind of.
So you had a youth club at school?
Yeah, that's what it was in the actual school building. Yeah. I never went to like the boys' club things because I had one of them Wall's End Boys Club, but it'd be a boys' club.
Right.
Never really did that because we had the youth club at school. Have a tuck shop on, so you'd go and get your sweets.
Of course.
That was the best part. But they'd set things up like even. Do you remember the big benches? You'd sit on them brown benches that you'd sit on in the hall, or they bring them out for PE to do things on.
Turn over and there's a little thing.
There'd be different things. They'd be set up in different ways, so you could either walk on them or you can climb over them. Do all that. They'd crash mats out. The whole lot. It was brilliant.
And how old are you?
Then
17.
that was that was last week. That would have been around about 10.
Really?
Yeah, I remember going there about 10 years old. Yeah,
Tuck shop like pop and all juices
sweets,
and
you get the Highland
sweets
toffee
and-
bars.
Oh yeah. I do actually. Yeah. Oh, talk about that. Let's take a little.
Oh, break for our
Take a
sponsors.
little
hopefully.
lemon zero sugar made with real fruit juice.
Aviv, available at Aldi. Very nice.
No artificial colours or flavourings in that. Yeah, I do remember. I remember one in Germany. A kind of, I don't know if it was like a youth club or as such, but it was some sort of community centre sort
I'm
of.
sure they had different kind of camps over there back then. Be careful, you made the right one. You made it out, so you should be alright.
But what I did do there was I twisted this guy's arm, and it was in like possibly not a political correct, but like a Chinese burn.
Yeah, yeah.
And he went and then ran to his dad, and then his dad came over and went, "Did you just do that?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." So he did it to me.
Well, that was allowed back then. You get clipped off adults back
you
then
would.
for being a dick.
Yeah. Like even a next door neighbour.
Yeah.
I've just seen your son do this, so I'll just give him a
Just smack his
smack
arm.
for
Yeah,
it.
okay. Well done.
Thank you.
I'll give another one when he gets in.
Did you get in any trouble? Like doing anything like that, like playing around
all the time.
Really?
Literally, nearly every day I was in trouble. Like I say, I was a horrible kid for that. And I'm still not that good now when people tell me what to do. I've had to learn to be better, but as a kid I was awful. If you were telling me what to do, I just would not do it.
Hierarchy.
I rebelled against a lot of things when I was a kid. Yeah. Always fighting.
Really?
Didn't matter if I was a kid or an adult. I remember getting one of them. And you look back and you go, I must have been a right shit. Because he came out and we must have terrorised this bloke's house for nothing really bad. We weren't like smashing things up, but you just annoy one of your neighbours that much. Came out and got hold of us by both my arms. So I couldn't hit him, obviously. And he was on about, I can't remember what he was saying, because I was starting to cry because he had hold of us, and I was, you get a bit scared. And because my friends were there and they weren't doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But he's only 2 doors up from my house. So I'm like, well, where's my dad?
Yeah.
And he was antagonising me a little bit because I was starting to cry. Oh, not so tough now, blah, blah. So I started beating the shit out of him with my feet, obviously kicking him in the shins, things like that. Until he let go, basically. And then I went and got my dad, and they sorted it out themselves as adults. I don't know what happened. I was told to go in the house. That man never bothered me again, that's all I know. He was still around, he didn't disappear. But yeah, that was me as a kid, just a little shit. I was thinking
The
noisy
not
one.
him. I was thinking.
Well, he had us too far away because
to
that's
do it,
one of the things you try. You
yeah.
can't. So I was like, I can still kick you. I'm going to kick this.
How old did you say he was? 10?
That would have been 10 or 11 years old again. Yeah. Because I think then, don't know if my mum and dad had divorced or not, or separated, but I'm sure they might be younger than that. I might have been 8.
Yeah.
I was honestly horrible. The younger, I got better as I got older. I calmed down. I must have came out fighting, I think. I was just a little shit. I used to have fights in the street nearly every day with somebody. I'm the oldest out of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I was firstborn, Raji. Not now. I'd rather walk away now. But back then, horrible. Wow. And it wasn't just the one day, but I was always the one in trouble, literally. Yeah, because I was too stupid to run away or too lazy to run away, and I'd go, well, what's the worst that they're going to do? They're not going to touch us, so... Yeah.
But they could have back then.
But they did, so I fought back when they did, so...
So what were you doing with this neighbour, just antagonising us, like...
He got sick of jumping over his gardens or something. I think that's because he used to do it all the time, or knocking on his door. I can't remember exactly what I did, or what I'd said that got him to come out. Yeah. But I must have really upset him. When I look back, my dad was probably only about 30.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
Yeah. But they seemed a lot older, obviously. I look at myself at 30 and go, I was not ready for this. Like, with kids, like, I wasn't as stable as what they seemed to be, you know, when you look back. But
look back, job, house, car.
Everything. Never had a car, actually, growing up. Never had a car. No. I was one of the poor kids who didn't have cars. You'd have to have loads if you're moving around, so...
what is it? Vauxhall Cavalier. I remember that.
All your neighbours had one. I got one of those when I got older because I remembered that car being brilliant. I loved it. By the time I was older, and I was 35 when I got one, I thought, it wasn't really that good anymore.
I think we had
wasn't that
beige one.
I was about in my 20s when I first got into one of them and drove it myself. I loved them. I thought they were cool cars.
I can't remember. I think it was beige Vox. I just remember the name because it's quite a cool name.
Cavalier. It's a good name to have.
Cavalier. Quite good.
One of my uncles, he used to come round to our house every weekend. But he's not the real uncle. You know, he's like one of my dad's. He's one of my dad's mates. He used to come round and call him
his Uncle Dave or something.
Yeah. It was Mike. Uncle Mike. Uncle Michael, I think it was. Yeah. And he had because we didn't have a car, he had one. And it was a Ford Orion, and I remember that. I thought that was at the time an amazing car, just because it was one of the only ones I've ever been in. And so he would take us for a drive, just up and down the road. That was it, and I think it was the best thing. I was in the front seat. This is cool. And one of my neighbours actually used to have motorbikes, so I've been on the back of a few. And I wish I had one myself now, but he used to ride them. David, he was called. I remember his name. He was. Dave. When you look back, it's really weird because he was in his 20s, living with his mum, who was like in her, what looked like 60s, let's say. And then he takes a young kid who's about 10, 12 years old on the back of his bikes, and everyone, they're probably not allowed now. He would have probably been given a name, but it wasn't like that, obviously. But he'd paint, how you get the tyres with the name of the brand on.
Yeah.
So he'd paint the brand bit in white so you could see it, and I thought it was the coolest thing. It looked lush. It was brilliant. He had the big racing bikes, so go on the back of them nearly every week as well.
Pirelli.
So it was just a lot of fun when I lived. When I look back now, loved it. I'd love to go back to that time. If I could go back to any time, I would go back to that. Yeah.
I do remember, however, this was when I was like in high school, at least. So how old are you then? 14, 15 or so? And I thought, and there's a massive hill in Cramlington, Nelson Hill it's called, I don't know if you've... And three of us thought, well, let's just tent out, let's just camp at Nelson Hill. But what we did, quite ingenious, when you're 14, 15 or so, is... I would say that I was at his house. He would say that it was at his house. He would say that it was, stuff like that.
So no one knows where you are.
No one knows where we are or what we're doing. Awesome, good plan. Until, I think, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm like scared of anything or whatever. Until it was, I think it was my mum who rang up Phil's mum or whatever and went, "Oh, how's Ashley doing?" Like, just make sure they're okay for the night, whatever.
Right.
I thought it was at Stevens, and then rang them. I thought they were at yours. So what's going on here?
Well, our kids, there's like 6 of them missing.
So we was on the just got the tent up, just chillaxing, cracking open a couple of cold ones, of Fanta, and then we just heard like claps or whistles and like, come on, like, we know you're up there, sort of thing.
Right.
And we got right rollicking off that. Well, them two, because my mum was having like a meal, like a evening in. The kids are out, sort of thing. Let's have like a dinner party.
Dinner business.
or a dinner party.
Or a dinner party. That's whatever.
So they got home apparently like on the Monday. I thought, what happened when you got in?
Yeah.
Them two got grounded. I got a little bit of leftover from the dinner party. I think it was just me mum going, just try and make any friends whatsoever.
Yeah.
But no one wanted to be my friend. So.
Oh, never mind. I'm your friend now. Did well for yourself, haven't you?
Got the hardest lad in church and Grange to be my mate. I do. Yeah. So I just thought that. Has it fully gone? Not some of the kids are still there. Like I said, if you give a kid like a cricket, but the beach.
Yeah.
So, just on a tangent.
We used to go there all the time as kids because we live near the beach. If you're listening from any further away,
distance,
the beach is like a stone's throw away from most of where we've lived. I think. Yeah.
So we called it French cricket. So you'd stand with your feet together or your legs together, cricket bat in front, and then someone would throw a ball and you'd hit it, and it was really like a really awkward thing.
Right.
But wherever the ball landed, that's where they would throw it from, and the aim of the game was for them to hit your legs.
Never played that at all.
Yeah, frisbee, football, just so the beach was. And again, if you take the kids to a beach now, if you don't give them a device, it all comes flooding back.
Yeah,
and then the kid. Well, hopefully some of them are. Anyway,
that's one of the best places to take. I think if you got kids to take them there, so you can't use them devices there now. So yeah. But even in the house though, like we used to do things in the house.
So what did you used to do in the house?
Honestly,
because I at some stage have taken pretty much all of the cushions off a sofa.
Oh yeah, everyone does that. You build something and then jump
and try to jump or do backflips or just whatever.
I know where you're leading to because I've told you a story before.
So my question to you is, what did you try to do?
Have you ever done this? Yeah. So I was a big martial arts fan as a kid as well. So I would pretend to be Jean-Claude Van Damme from Bloodsport, and I would jump on my mum's bed, try and do a back spin kick, and land again. I don't think I ever pulled it off properly, and I think I broke about 3 beds trying to do it.
Wearing just
well, because he wore something in particular, I had to try and build my own thing of that, and so I had a pair of black cycling shorts on. They had a yellow stripe down them. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Perfectly normal thing to do.
So funny, but
I would jump off everything. The amount of beds I've gone through, like because your kids' beds have got them wooden slats in.
Yeah.
As soon as you jump on them, that's it. You go through them.
Snap. Yeah.
I would wrestle a lot with pillows, things like that. Drop an elbow on a pillow from the edge of the bed and go through the bed and go, broke the bed.
What's he doing?
Yeah, and I used to tell my son off for the same thing, but I would hear my dad telling me or my mum telling me off, and you go, I sound just like my parents now. Now I know what they meant, what they mean by stop being a dick.
I'm not going to grow up like them, and then you do because you
have to. Yeah. But yeah, we used to do loads. I used to do that all the time. But weekends, things like that, I'd always go to my nana's, as I've told you before.
Yes.
Spend a lot of time there, and I played a lot of games at my nana's that way, where it was cards or memory games, things like that, and that was one of my favourite things to do. Actually, was the memory thing. Do you ever get that on a tray?
Oh no!
Put out
the cards
like different items. Let's say there's a peg, there's a fork, there's a toothbrush, whatever. So you go and find these things, and then you'd look at it. You got 10 seconds to memorise what's on there, and then you cover them up. You turn around, and they take one away, and you have to guess or remember which one is missing.
Yeah.
And then we do it again, blah, 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 take them until, there's only a few left or whatever. And then you start again, you get some different items. Yeah. I used to love that. Simple, easy game. Or cards would be the next thing. It's like, I learned all my card games that I know of. Yeah. I forgot half of them now anyway. But I learned them all from my nana. Like playing different, What's that one where... It's Uno now, it's called, but it wasn't called Uno.
Oh, Switch.
That was it. I used to love playing that. I could play it for hours. And just colouring in, like I used to colour in. Always at my nana's. So on a weekend, she'd have colouring pens, books, or you draw pictures, you trace things out and colour them, and did it all at her house. Smoked my first cigarette at my nana's house. I told her that the other day, but I said I'll bring it up on here, I'll keep it for here.
Yeah, I said, shut up. And you can tell me here.
And my nana used to smoke Dorchester king size. So they're probably the biggest, strongest ones you could ever get. Horrendous now you look back, but yeah, I would smoke. It would start with just one. Oh, go on, you'd have one little one off there. Yeah. You cough your guts up, and then the next week, go on, then you can have it. And you end up where you're sitting smoking a full, pack of 20 with your nan.
With her.
While she's knitting. I never got the hang of the knitting side, but...
No, I've never.
But yeah, smoking a cigarette with my nana. Who does that now? Anyone else do that?
What's the... what was the colour of the packet?
The Dorchester was like a gold and black. I think I'm sure it was black or blue. There was two different ones.
Was it?
But Dorchester Super Kings or Dorchester King size, they were... Mental. They were like basically Super Kings now, which are longer. They were longer than normal cigarettes.
Yeah.
That was the thing. So they're even bigger. Yeah. So by the time you smoked a full one, I felt sick after half one, I'm sure. Yeah. But that was where I first smoked a cigarette, and that was about 7 or 8 years old, I think. Maybe a bit older, maybe 10 or 11. But at what age did you stop going to Nana's at weekend? I'm sure I stopped around about 11 or 12.
Dear. I think
so would have been underaged massively.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a thing then, do you know? It was just fun.
So what's the thing, like, where you take, like, have a drag of that out, like, have your first drag or whatever it's called?
Yeah. That was my nana. All my nana's fault.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Harking back to the earlier episodes, you watched loads of TV there, didn't you? 90s TV.
All of it was watched there.
Generation Game.
Yeah, all of it was watched there. Yeah. The A-Team, remember them? First time I've ever seen that was like, oh wow, who are these guys? I want to be one of them. So I always wanted that truck, but yeah, I used to watch all my TV shows there.
So Monday morning, on the bed, you would dress up as Mr. T. Chasing a bad guy who broke another bed.
Yeah, wearing my dungarees. And my gold chains at my mum's gold chains.
Come here, and then jump off the bed.
Oh, best times, honestly. Some real good times then, I think. For me, anyway. Don't know about you. You were at my nana's.
So do you think? I don't know. And what do you think that builds in? So would you have? Let's say you grew up now. Let's say you were 10 or 11 or whatever. Would you have a device, or would you be one of them kids?
Well, see, then because we didn't know any different, so you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be bothered by it, like because you didn't know anything. Now the options, I think it's an easy option now. That's the way it looks like to me. Most parents, I've done it with mine as well. So not calling anybody, because I did the same thing. As soon as that was, go and play on the computer, go and do this, or have that. Shut up and go over there.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I don't want to say skill of parenting, but it is a kind of a skill of parenting, and it has disappeared a little bit. People have got too much going on in their lives, but also nothing going on in their lives. It's just
because it's harder now. Like
it's an easy option. Yeah.
Like there isn't that much, but we were playing in fields and stuff like that. So there's still fields, there's still things like that. But is it dangerous? More dangerous now?
I think the feel of your kids going outside, it's not the same as it was back in the 80s. Yeah. Definitely not.
Or is that because we didn't know the news back then? Or
maybe because it's more apparent now of people doing it. I don't know if there's any more people doing it, but it seems like there is because there's more danger out there because we know of it more. Yeah, like you say, I think that's probably more likely what it is because I'm pretty sure there's still, like I say, I used to get in a fight every week. Yeah. Didn't matter. Difference was there weren't.
You won.
It wasn't a gang of people fighting it, and it wasn't anyone with a knife running like that. Yeah. It was just a fight. You'd get over it, and then you were probably friends the next day. I did that loads.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to happen now because there's a lot of shit online. It seems to carry on a lot more.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. You fought with them. You were told to pack it in and be friends again and go and play.
Yeah.
That was it. That's how that got resolved a lot of the time. Sometimes it didn't because they were from another street or another, another area. Shouldn't have been on your field. Get off. And that, you'd have that. But even then, it was never like it is now, where there's like grudges held for so long and vendettas against people, and it just spreads out and it becomes a big thing. So I think that's one of the bigger differences now. It's definitely.
I think one of the only fights I've ever witnessed is, and it's so funny. It was just on a little patch of green, and I'm gonna say there was about 6, 7, 8 of us, something like that, and it was between obviously these two kids, and they were just pushing and shoving and just calling names and whatever, and it's got to a little bit of a fight, and then I think it ended up one of them punched the other one in the stomach. Must have winded him, caught his asthma flared up or whatever. And he was like couldn't breathe, and he was like, right, are you okay? Yeah, you okay? Yeah. Like that. Got up and went, right, do you want a sweet? and that was really weird. But that's what, but it was just like, would have maybe got quite nasty, and they were pushing and shoving and name calling and stuff, and then it's resolved, right? Kind of mates again, sort of thing.
Yeah, things just don't seem to get resolved now. That's the difference, and I don't know why that is or what stopped that. Again, is it the parents' side? Because you get a lot of that now, where parents will step in, and then they'll argue with the other person's parents. You go, well, that's not really teaching the kids much, is it?
Yeah, because
you're making exactly that fight worse. Yeah, and you're probably going to end up with a fight with that parent.
Yeah.
So I would always shy away from that as an adult to not, because I think, well, you don't know who they are, what they're, you're going to their door as well. That's the dodgy part. If you're that type of person where you want to kick off with someone, you go to their door, you better make sure you can back it up because you're coming to their house. It's different.
On their property.
Whereas we just sorted out ourselves as kids and then went, right,
friends again.
See you tomorrow, and we'll do the same, or whatever. School. We got this, and that's the thing. Now there's that many different kids from different areas going to the same school, whereas and then everyone I knew in my street, we all went to the same school. We were all more or less in the same year group and things like that. There weren't 12 classes to each, or 12 parts to each year group. I was in one class with those people, so you had to see them all day, every day. I think that made a big difference, and that made that kind of friendship stronger, if you like, because you're not like, oh, well, I'll see you after school because you're in different lessons all day, or you're a different part of the school all day. I think that's possibly part of it as well. We had a big class, so now they're not allowed that now because they don't teach you as well. I prefer small
political thing.
I know, that went a bit deep, didn't it? Not meant to do that.
Political.
Never mind.
Satire.
Loads of fun I had as a child anyway.
So comment below. I want to, while you're, because we're gonna move away.
So moving now.
I would like you to bring up your Chuck Norris.
Oh, is it that time of the week again?
But before that, because here's a new segment for all you listeners and watchers and viewers and audience, is that I'm going to do a fact of the week.
Are you doing that first?
Yeah.
Fact first.
So while you're bringing your Chuck Norris up,
I've got a belter ready. This is one of the funniest ones I've said
so far.
Do
you need to read it, or can you remember?
It's right there. I can see it. I will read it just in case I mess it up.
Have you got your phone on? So hopefully I'll be doing the fact of the week, what I've learned that week. But I didn't do that this week, because I forgot.
Messed it up already.
So I'm just going to tell you my favourite fact. You've probably heard 100 times. And this is substantiated. You can Google it, because Google knows everything.
So it's definitely true.
And that is my fact. Drumroll players is Evel Knievel. Can you remember that one?
The guy on the bike. Yes.
So Evel Knievel got his name, Evel Knievel, because he once shared a prison cell with someone called Awful Knorful.
I like that. I like that fact because that's a stupid name.
Because I like that because there's loads of weird, stupid, wonderful facts out there.
Yeah.
But I like that one because it's just like. No,
it's also quite funny, but how?
No, that's not true. when it really, I can't remember. I think his name might be Robert Knievel, but I can't remember. It'll take me 20 seconds to look. But it was something Knievel, and then it was actually a prison guard, and then look, we've got an Evil Knievel and Awful Knaufel.
Very good. So he just kept that name.
Yeah.
And he made himself a superstar.
But he wrote it EVEL, so because he didn't want any connotations.
Didn't think it to be a nasty one.
Yeah. So there we are.
It's very good.
Fact of the week.
Now it's my turn. So I'm going to try and read this one. Chuck Norris quote things or memes, whatever you want to call them. If you've been listening, you'll know what I'm on about. So the one I found today or yesterday is Chuck Norris can tie his shoelaces with his own feet. Obviously, if you tie your shoelaces, if you're supposed to be in your shoes, how's that happen? Isn't that good? I got another one though. Don't worry, don't go away yet.
Oh, don't turn over.
Chuck Norris built the hospital that he was born in. Do you know what's sad as well though? Right? These are funny, but I've seen something on TikTok, and there's an actual TikTok page with people doing this.
Really?
Which is where I got the idea from. I won't lie, I did steal it a little bit. But I thought, wow, how easy and simple is that to do?
Yeah.
I don't know if they make their own up or where they're reading them from, but I haven't found the same ones.
Yeah.
So there's millions and millions out there. So we're just going to keep going with them.
Ever-running supply, isn't
There
there?
could be thousands that you'll never even hear. This one is back to 2019 or 2020, yeah? Chuck Norris has been exposed to the coronavirus. Coronavirus is now in a 14-day quarantine. How about that?
It's how pleased you are.
I love it. It's like simple, isn't it? It's just simple, like me. That's how we do it.
There we are. That one,
Wait a
please.
minute,
In a second.
Wait a minute.
Oh, go on.
I don't know if I've done this one, but
You
ghosts.
do that one.
Yeah. Ghosts sit around the campfire and tell Chuck Norris stories. I find it funny. Anyway,
Are you going to limit yourself to one more?
one more, yeah. Hang on.
Go on. Have a good one.
I've read that one before, so I can't do that, can I? Oh. I might have done it, I might not, we'll see. Chuck Norris has a grizzly bear carpet in his room. It's not dead, it's just afraid to move.
There's a couple of nice ones in
That's
there.
all right.
A couple of good ones in there.
There you go. Ba-dum-bum.
I want everyone to please follow, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, please. Share the podcast with your friends and your family. And comment about the fun you had as a child.
Yes, tell us your stories. Send them in. That'll be good, won't it? So we're going to wrap it up here today. Am I right with that?
Wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Please come back again. So that is a wrap. So if you have a cringe-worthy moment that you need to get off your chest, email us at flappinggumshow@gmail.com. Whether it's for comedy or just sheer chaos, we want to hear it. Your disaster might just be our next highlight. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, and we will see you soon. Take care for now.
Good night.